coming out of the academy, brand new uniform, eager to do the job, and he's maintained that same eagerness to do the job every day for 25 and a half years. And I certainly appreciate him, and I certainly salute him for doing that. Before we go into the awards, I would like to invite anybody in the audience who would like to come up and say a few words to us about Joe and to Joe. So if you would like to do so, please come up now and do it. Don't be shy. It's okay to be shy. Anybody, I believe you wanted to say a few words? Zach, I'm really disappointed about your blog story chasing the SWAT man. I know you were good for that one.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're here to say goodbye to a fellow colleague and friend, Lieutenant Joe Isnardi, who's come to the end of his police career here at Lakewood Police Department. While we all wish Lieutenant Isnardi well in retirement, we cannot properly send him off without reflecting upon his career, which spans 2.5 decades. Its humble beginnings on March 19, 1984, as part of the largest police recruit class ever enrolled by Lakewood Township, 14 men, which incidentally Joe's leaving. Now down to 7. Lieutenant Isnardi went on in his career to excel in every part of police work and everything he was assigned to carry out. I just half out for the chief that did it, so forget about that part. No, let's skip all the way to supervision. As a detective bureau commander, he led his detectives with a firm but fair understanding of the complexities of detective work. Time and time again, through Joe's guidance, many intricate and heinous crimes were investigated and completion. The arrest of perpetrator was ultimately fulfilled. We just recently went over a bunch of our cases, packing them away, and realized how many there were over the years. I think what we really have to reflect upon is that these values aren't just learned at the Lakewood Police Department. Joe is a fiercely dedicated family man, dedicated husband, dedicated to his mom, in memory of his father. Always talked about it. And I'm going to tell you a little story. Nobody said what that's good for. I'm going to tell you what that's good for. It's irrelevant. And I'm going to tell you why it's irrelevant. Because his grandfather, if you all didn't know, was an alderman in New York City many, many years ago, was the equivalent of a township committee in here. And Joe just recently proudly showed me his grandfather's election certification as alderman in the city of New York, and he always during his life was very proud of that, as he was of his family and his friends. And those values, what I'm trying to explain, were carried on to this police department, into his men, into every daily bit of this police work. Those are the values that we hope so as we call Generation X, Y, and Z, the youngsters that just started, will carry on like us all timers, so that to steal from John F. Kennedy, don't ask what you can take from Lakewood Police Department or Lakewood. What can you give to us? Joe, good luck in retirement.
Anybody else like to come up and talk about Joe?
I'm looking forward to him coming to be in my neighbor. Known him for about 15 years now. And y'all all heard the good stuff. But let me tell you something. Joe's a good guy, but he's scared of lizards. I've seen him chase back to the boat on lizards. Just a little lizard. I promise I'll protect him. You talked about fraternity, and I see how all of you guys here over the years have watched his back. I'll accept that challenge because we know he needs adult supervision. We love you. Welcome to the team.
Anyone else? I'm sure almost everybody in here, if they came up to the microphone to express the same sentiments that have already been talked about by myself, by Steve, by Zach. Pretty much to know Joe is to care about him and love him because that's what he has shown every day on the job. Okay, without further ado, we're going to go into the presentations. I would like to call Deputy Chief Capper up.
Like the chief said, Joe has had a long and distinguished career. He was one of the original members of our tactical team. Served as my second in command right side. The dedication that he brought to the team was really an example for all those involved. The plaque says something in recognition for dedicated years of service to the Lakewood Police Department Special Response Team, 2009. Joe and I probably will soon forget the number of tours we went through together. But I can tell you that he's going to be sorely missed here. But we wish him the best of luck.
I get a little nervous sometimes, and I'm very emotional, so if I start crying, please forgive me. On March 19, 1984, Lakewood Police Department hired 14 police officers. They called us in, we went back to a training room, and they didn't tell us we were hired until about a half hour later. Said, you're the 14 guys, you're hired. We were all happy. Some of us knew who we were, some of us we didn't. Went to the academy, we graduated, foot patrol. We had to go downtown, that was a big thing, a big foot patrol detail. Then about 5 years ago, I got promoted to sergeant, and the same day, Lieutenant Isnardi got promoted to lieutenant. I thought I was going to leave the detective room because I was a detective at that time. They kept me there, and I became Joe's supervisor in the street crime unit. Every time I needed help and I got stuck with something, Joe always gave me a different way to look at it. He was my mentor. Then a few years ago, I became his executive officer for the detective bureau day shift. And when we got stuck on cases, we all went to Joe, and Joe said, hey, what do you look at it this way? And one of the smartest guys I've ever met. And I just appreciate him. I'm going to miss him a lot. Because every time I got stuck, I always went to Joe. I grew up with 3 sisters. And the only thing I can say is, if I had a brother to pick, it would be Joe Isnardi. Thank you, Joe. And girls in the Detective Bureau, in grateful recognition and appreciation of your time, dedication, and service to the Lakewood Police Department, Detective Bureau, signed by all of us. Thank you very much, Joe. We love you.
President of Lakewood Police Department Superior Officers Association. I'd like to thank you all for being here today. Show Detective Lieutenant Joe Isnardi your appreciation for many years of dedicated service and capture to Lakewood. I'd also like to thank Chief Lawson and all the others for speaking so eloquently on the accomplishments of Detective Lieutenant Isnardi. I had the pleasure of working with Joe for over 25 years. When you begin your career in law enforcement, you don't really think about retirement, and that's the day that's far away, and it's never going to get here. All I can say is, well, guess what? It's here. And I can't believe that I'm standing here ready to give my professional goodbye to someone who, in addition to being a co-worker, is also a very good friend. Joe and I worked together many times over the years. First, we were in Parks Patrol together. We confiscated a lot of beer and made sure it was destroyed properly. Served on the split shift. And then we also served approximately 9 years together on the Lakewood Police Special Response Team. He's probably one of the main reasons that I joined the Special Response Team, and I'm glad that he pushed me in that direction. Our involvement with the Special Response Team afforded us the opportunity to attend lectures, seminars, and training schools, but even with all that busy schedule, we were able to fit in occasional here. During his tenure as the head of the Detective Bureau, I saw another side of Joe. As the chief said, I saw someone who was very intense, a stickler for detail, did not take mistakes well, let people know that they had made a mistake, and I don't think they make it again. And that all came out to someone who took great pride in his job. And as the chief said, he continued that right up to the very last day. I came to appreciate not only his knowledge, but especially his availability. Anytime I had a question, whether it was regarding laws, policies, or procedures, I know Joe was only a phone call away, and I'm sure that caused him to consider giving an unlisted number. That being said, the time has come for Joe to step away from his responsibilities as a law enforcement officer and begin his new career of doing whatever he wants to do, as long as Tina approves. I'd like to give Joe first his Silver Light Park from New Jersey State PBA. Present that to you. And with great pride, I'm sure you'll carry it with great pride. It's also with a great sense of pride on my part that I present Joe with the plaque I'm going to give him now, proclaiming his honorable discharge